And as mentioned earlier, today is about getting the outside world in for us to assess how we can have a greater impact through management and business education. And with that, we're going to start that part of the agenda, really looking at pedagogical changes in order to really ensure that we have a greater impact through the students that come through our programs all over the globe. So with that, we will hear from many components, first about specifically the I-5 initiative, which you've already heard about briefly, but we'll have a session on that. We'll also hear about some exciting new student research that's being conducted by an amazing organization called Higher Education for Good Foundation, and how Prime will be collaborating with that institution to give the student voice into this reform process. And then we'll also be hearing about some interesting new tools around how to utilize digital capabilities and competencies into educational change. So with that, let me turn it back to our wonderful head of Prime to give a quick introduction to this session.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much for this. So Connecting for Pedagogical Impact is going to be the next discussion here in our connection theme. But before we do that, I would love you to see just who we are in the Prime Secretariat. And you know our names, you see our emails, and you look forward to receiving our emails, I'm sure. And I just want to remind you that 3 years ago, we were Nikolai and me, and we had an intern in the office. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of, presenting the team for you here today. Here they are, the fabulous, amazing, hardworking, energetic team. Woo! Woo! Woo-hoo! And you know how responsive they are, you know how good they are, and I can tell you from my side, I can also tell you how creative they are, how complex problem solving they all are, and how insisting, how stubborn they sometimes can be, and how good it all is. So thank you so much, team, for being there. Cannot imagine any better team. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. So, Connecting for Pedagogical Impact. I just want to very briefly introduce before I want to invite Meredith, again up here, Meredith Story, who is leading as our Senior Manager of Prime, who is leading, I think it's fair to say, it's not only Prime's largest project, it's also the United Nations Global Compact's largest project, largest donation at least, ever in its 23 years of existence. And Meredith, you are in charge and you're leading it, and I'm always telling the story of Meredith. I waited for this lady for 6 months to come, and it's worth the wait before she was ready to leave her tasks with Jeff Sachs at the UNSDSN. Meredith also comes with something as wonderful as a PhD in responsible management education. Can you imagine how lucky we are? And Meredith, I just say my shoulders, after you entered Prime, my shoulders went considerably down. And I'm so happy to have you here. So please take us through the next session.
Thank you, Mette, and thank you everyone for joining us here today. This is actually my third Prime Global Forum, so it's very exciting to look out into the audience and see so many familiar faces and so many new faces. So, I mean, for 3, it's been since 2015, so I know a lot of you have been around even longer than that, but it's great to just have